Hello. I'd like to just give you a brief introduction to the subject that I'm going to be talking about in this speech, which is designed to be interpreted consecutively. I'm going to be talking to you about how rich people can hide away their fortunes in Swiss banks and how this prevents this money being used for better purposes. We'll put it like that. So, if you're ready, I will begin. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be able to join you from Geneva to take part in this conference this morning. The task that I have been given is to disprove the theory that Switzerland, with all its neutrality and direct democracy, is a perfect place to live and a country of impeccable morals. Now that promises to be a tall order, given the fact that I've only been allowed 5 or 6 minutes speaking time, and especially when one considers that many of the cliches that one hears about Switzerland are in fact quite true. It is true that the public services in Switzerland are extremely efficient and of high quality. The trains here run like clockwork, and what's more, everywhere is indeed clean and tidy. Much of the country looks like a picture postcard, thanks to the fact that nobody drops litter on the pavements. What's more, Switzerland is one of the richest countries in the world. And within Switzerland, Geneva is one of the richest cities. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is what should make us start to question the morals of this place. You see, Geneva is a city which oozes wealth. We have an elite here that have their own private jets. In fact, I read recently that Geneva Airport has more private jets parked at it than any other airport in the world. And this elite is clad only by the finest designers. Now, you are probably thinking that the elite that I'm referring to are Swiss bankers, but in fact you'd be quite wrong. The elite that I am referring to are actually the bankers' clients. That means to say the multimillionaires and billionaires who are drawn here to Switzerland like iron filings to a magnet by the tax system. You see, unlike many other tax systems, the Swiss system has an element of regressiveness in it. You see, normally what you would expect is that as your level of income increases, so your tax rate would increase. That means to say, if you earn 10,000 francs, then you would pay 10%, but if you earn 50,000 francs, then you would pay 15%. So with these rising proportions, the aim of such a system is to try and redistribute some of that income from the richer people to poorer people, so that those who are less well off can be provided with good public services and social benefits and so on and so forth. However, this isn't the way the Swiss system works. You see, here in Switzerland, the mega rich, those multimillionaires or billionaires that I've been referring to, can opt for paying a fixed amount of tax, which means to say they end up paying a lower rate or smaller proportion of their income than either you or I. Switzerland defends itself by claiming that the presence of these billionaires has, on the one hand, a positive impact on the economy, and any tax revenue that they do pay into the system is a bonus. However, I would argue that for several reasons, the billionaires are being allowed to get away without making a fair contribution. You see, in the meantime, there are many Swiss people who work for a living who find it difficult to get a foot on the property ladder. And looking further afield, whilst these fortunes are being hidden away in Swiss banks, they're not helping the people in other countries where often the fortunes come from. So the money, these fortunes, could be used for much nobler purposes, such as alleviating poverty back home. In fact, my old friend Pepe Mujica, the former president of Uruguay, suggested that were the richest people in the world forced to pay a fair amount of tax, that would generate enough resources to solve world hunger and ensure that everybody has a roof over their heads. So, by way of conclusion, it is true that Switzerland is a lovely place to live, but it's far from being a perfect country. Since there's no amount of development aid that can be given that will compensate for the inequalities which are being fostered by Switzerland's tax system. Now, that may seem a rather harsh conclusion, but I would like to see the day when billionaires pay their fair share. Thank you very much.